Hi, I am M. Jagadish, Associate Professor in CSC Department. Please watch my videos, like and share my videos, and subscribe my channel. Destructor. Now up to 8 we know what is a constructor and what is a parameterized constructor and what is a copy constructor. Now here we just look at one more, that is nothing but destructor. Now, which is a somewhat a small difference between a constructor and destructor. Constructor is used to allocate the memory for the data members, whereas destructor is used to delete the memory, and the destructor is also same thing as a constructor, which is it is nothing but a member function whose name is same as class name, but the only difference is it is preceded by one special symbol, that is nothing but a tilde symbol. Before the member function name, there is a tilde symbol. If there is a tilde symbol, we can call it is nothing but a destructor. And it is going to call automatically by the compiler when the object is destroyed. Whenever the object is destroyed, it indicates whenever the program execution is out of scope, automatically this destructor will be called by the compiler in order to release the memory which was allocated earlier by the same object, of the same object. See, destructors are usually used to deallocate the memory, to clean up for the class objects and its class members. When we just go to clean up means automatically what is the memory that is reserved for the class members, automatically for the class members memory will be deleted. The destructor is called for a class object when that object passes out of the scope or explicitly deleted. I specified recently. Whenever the program is out of scope, then automatically the destructor will be called. Now look at this particular one. Here simply look at this example. Simply here I am defining one particular example which is related to the destructor. Now this is nothing but the name of the class, and this is nothing but the name of the function. Both the class name and function name is same, you can call the constructor. But here we are specifying one more symbol before the function name, that is tilde symbol. If it is like so, then you can call this is nothing but destructor. Now look at this. Here I just simply specify the 0 value to num1, num2, num3, which indicate that there is 0 value. So automatically after the execution, whenever the object is out of scope, the memory will be deallocated. This is nothing but destructor. Now these are the points to specify that a special characteristics of constructors and destructors, when to apply, how to apply, what to apply, all those things. Now come to the first one. Constructors and destructors do not have any return type, not even void, nor they can return values. Recently in the earlier constructor programs, we see that constructors not consisting any return type, even specifying void also. Even we are not specifying void also. Simply when you are going to define, we immediately starts with function name without specifying return type. And references and pointers cannot be used. References and pointers cannot be used on constructors and destructors. We are not using any references and pointers to be used on constructors and destructors because their address cannot be taken. Exactly, their address cannot be taken. And constructors cannot be declared with the keyword virtual. We are not going to define or declare the constructor with virtual. We already specified the constructors do not have any return types and we do not have any keywords. Now, what is mean by virtual means we will discuss at the time of runtime polymorphism. And one more important, constructors and destructors cannot be declared static, const, volatile. We cannot make constructor function as a static function or a constant function or a volatile. And the unions contain class objects that have constructors or destructors. So unions cannot contain class objects that have constructors or destructors. Now the next, compiler automatically calls constructors. Automatically calls constructors when defining the class objects, and automatically destroys whenever the object scope is out of, and automatically calls destructors, which we discussed recently. And derived class do not inherit constructors or destructors from their base class. Now, what is a derived class and base class means we'll discuss about this when we discuss about inheritance concept, which is a one more object-oriented programming concept. So this derived class do not inherit the constructors and destructors, but they do call the constructor and destructor of base class. We are not inheriting, but we can call the base class constructor and destructor. And the default destructor calls the destructors of the base class and members of the base derived class. Destructors of the base class and members of derived class. That is done by means of default destructor, which is used to deallocate the memory. And the destructor for a class object is called before destructors for the members and bases are called. That indicates when we just go to specify the inheritance concept, at that time we just go to discuss about all these things. So first of all, destructors of derived class will be called, then after that destructors of base class will be called. Then you can have only one destructor for a class. You may have multiple constructors like parameterized, copy and default, and different parameterized and copy constructors, but there is only one destructor for a class. And one more thing is destructors cannot be overloaded and they cannot be inherited. Now, what is meant by overloaded and inherited means we'll discuss about at the time of compile time and runtime polymorphism. And one more important is for destructors we are not passing any arguments, simply name of the function and then before that function name is specific till the operator. These are the different characteristics of destructors.